All right, welcome to Friday Night Live or CFI After Dark, whatever you want to call it. I'm the Pet Man, Matt Morrow, and we had some amazing football games in the Charlotte metro area tonight. Um, man, before we get started and all that, I will tweet out the show, and I'll also post a link if you do want to come on the show. You'll just click that link. It'll bring you right on to the backstage part of our online studio, and then it'll put and we'll put you on whenever you're ready. So I'm going to put that out there on Twitter, and then I'll post in the comments the same link if you want to join us on Friday Night Live. All right, please post your scores. I know there's a lot of good stuff going on tonight. Um, I haven't seen all the scores yet. I got a couple questions that we need to look at for the playoff talk that we did earlier on Football Focus Weekly this week, because those results will kind of help determine, some of those bubble teams who gets in and who may not get in. But I will bring on the mega producer who was with me at Mallard Creek and Chambers tonight. And he is ready for the greatest homecoming on earth.
Indeed. Indeed.
um, you know what? I got my headphones in and they're not even plugged in. What am I doing?
That's like back in the day, we used to give your little brother or little cousin a controller for the game and it wasn't plugged in. Make them think they're playing.
Exactly. All right. Well, I know we both have a lot to say about what we saw tonight with Mallard Creek and Chambers, but I'll let you give your thoughts first.
Um, it I didn't pick Chambers and paid the ultimate price. Uh, ultimately, I see that now. But I'd say this for me. Chambers showed us who we already knew they were. Ultimately, in the end of the day, I felt like overall both defenses played really well. Um, I feel like that Chambers was just more consistent on offense for sure. Um, the difference in the game to me was um, came down to three crucial plays from Mallard Creek. Um, Two fumbles that they lost. One got ran down into the red zone. Didn't score, but ran down into the red zone. And then they went for it on fourth in their own territory. Didn't get it towards the end. And I think that was pretty much the nail in the coffin because at that point they were only down by one touchdown. It was 20-13. They go for it on like 4th and 1 on their own 30-ish or somewhere. Someone can correct me. And Chambers defense showed up, stopped them, scored, and pretty much put the nail in the coffin. So it really boiled down. I think those three plays was really the difference in the game. Um, Chambers showed up. They deserve all the credit. They really came out with a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, and it showed the whole time. They really maintained that. All is not lost from Mallard Creek. They just gotta tighten up a little bit, fix some of those turnovers, get some more consistency going on offense, and get ready for the playoffs. But big shout out to Chambers. I don't know what I was thinking, but should have picked you for the get go. But congrats, Chambers won a big game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And me being the only one that picked Chambers, I was tagged because I am the leader. And there was a message that I'll share with you guys later on after the game. But my thoughts on it are this. The big thing, and producer, I told you at the game, but the reason why I picked Chambers was really two reasons. And the first one was the stability at the quarterback position. And it's no fault of, Mallard Creek, injuries happen. But that was a big reason for me. Bubba has been, the guy all year long for Chambers. And, Mallard Creek has kind of worked through some different options there. And they played 3 quarterbacks tonight. And, I felt like, Trey Robinson, number 10, was, he played the best. I felt like, he had the good mix of run ability, and then he threw the ball pretty well when he had the time to do so. And then the other part of it was just experience in these situations. The seniors at Chambers have been, through the wars. And, big games, they have that, I don't want to say mentality, but they have that experience to rise up, to the occasion. And, I think for the first time in a while, they were really, kind of underdogs, when you look at this game, because most people picked Mallard Creek, to win it. And anytime those kids are in those circumstances, they tend to rise up and perform. And I felt like that was what was going to happen, and they went out there and did it. Now, to your point, for Mallard Creek, it's no reason to hang your head, because you're going to be in the playoffs. And I think they could take a lot from this and learn from it, because a lot of the reason why they lost was themselves. I mean, there were several offsides penalties. They had the fumbles that you mentioned. And then in the fourth quarter, that when they went for it on 4th and 1 on their own 20, and they were only down 20-13, and they didn't get it, that was, like you said, nail in the coffin. Chambers got the ball, and they scored and went up 2 touchdowns. And, pretty much by that point, it was done. So like we were talking about after the game, I think they'll, take it and they'll scout and they'll go over some things, and, they'll be better for it. Lanesha Dowd asking for the score. Chambers won this game 27-13. It was 20-6 at halftime. Mallard Creek got it to within 7, and you felt like the momentum was really with them. And they had that critical fumble. They had the young quarterback, number 15, was really, really good in the quarterback misdirection run game. He had a big run, got down to the 10, but he fumbled. And Chambers got that fumble back. And that really, really killed Mallard Creek's momentum, because you felt like they were going to score and they were going to tie the game up, and then we were going to be headed toward a classic finish. But you eliminate those fumbles, it's a different game. But, major credit goes to Chambers. That defense rose up, forced those fumbles. I felt like their secondary played really well. TJ McGill, man, I would love to coach that kid, or a kid like that. There's those dogs in the secondary, and he is one of them. I'm telling you, man. He's committed to William and Mary. I feel like he should be going higher than that. He's a ball player, man. All right, now there were other games tonight, so I could keep talking about Chambers and Mallard Creek for a while, but let's get on the engine, who's been sitting patiently backstage, and we had a big game with Mount Pleasant and J.M. Robinson for a championship. So let's bring him on and get his thoughts. Yo!
What's up, man?
What's up?
Good evening, sir.
Man, sound like you had a good game tonight.
It was fun. It was fun, man. A lot of good people out there. Yeah, it felt good, man.
Daggone right. There was a good one down in Mount Pleasant. I believe it's Larry Honeycutt Field now. Got there just after kickoff. Rolled in a little bit late, but not too late. Devin Hobbs, the big boy, the big defensive lineman we've talked about multiple times, scored first from 2 yards out, made it 7-0. It was really a defensive struggle for especially the first half. Both defenses played extremely well. Both special teams had a lot of penalties that really hurt them. But late in the first half, Bo Barbie, who was the basketball coach's son there, Coach Barbie, who won a state championship with Leaky Black and Moore and those guys at Cox Mill. His son is the point guard. He ran it in from 5 yards out to make it 7-7 going into halftime. That was under 2 minutes left whenever he scored. I felt like Mount Pleasant should have felt extremely good about their positioning. Their defense was playing lights out. They were containing J.M. Robinson, who honestly kind of shot themselves in the foot early on, had a lot of drops the first couple of series. They come back out. J.M. Robinson scores. Knowledge right. Scored from 32 yards out, but J.M. Robinson misses the PAT, so it's 13-7. We have some back and forth, and then our guy TD Moose shows up. Man, TD Moose catches the ball 10 yards out the backfield and runs 70 more yards down the sideline for an 80-yard score. They convert on the PAT, so it's now 14-13 Mount Pleasant, and that score held tight for a while until let's see, Wright from JMR, running back, 23, man, what a great game he had. Scores from 32 yards out. They convert the 2-point conversion with Hobbs running it in. So it's now 21-14. There are 42 seconds to go. J.M. Robinson is super pumped up. They're super excited. Obviously, they think they've won the game. A freshman quarterback is playing quarterback from Mount Pleasant. He played the majority of the second half, maybe the entire second half. And this dude just had kahunas of steel, man. He marches the ball downfield, gives the Tigers a chance to win. He completes a pass from the 30-ish yard line, and Mount Pleasant's wide receiver gets tackled. I mean, buddy, when we say it was close, it was inside the 1 foot line. An incredible finish. But J.M. Robinson is the back-to-back 2022 Yadkin Valley champions, Yadkin Valley Conference champions. But shout out to both defenses, man. Really loved Andrew Fisher's play on defense for Mount Pleasant. They had another kid, Thomas was his name, 42. He had an interception. And then Mount Pleasant's defensive line played extremely well. But shout out to, of course, my brother and a whole bunch of brothers on J.M. Robinson's staff.
Awesome, man. I saw the video on that last play too, man. Good gracious.
No, it was incredible, Pep. He catches it on about the 3 yard line and gets tackled. And I mean, when you say it was close, it was close.
Yeah. It's like daggone Titans Rams Super Bowl, man.
It was phenomenal.
Jeez. Oh man. All right. Well, congratulations to J.M. Robinson, man. Was that a clean sweep? Did we all pick Robinson?
We all picked Robinson.
See that dang on clean sweeps, man.
One of my few wins this week.
Oh man, do we have Joe Hughes? Joe, you here?
I'm just black.
What's up, man?
On my way back to civilization.
Well, tell us about Shelby and Burns, man.
All right. Of course, Burns took the win 27-14. Southern Piedmont 1A 2A champions. They got the scoring. They took their first possession and scored with it. Ryan Thompson, a 1 yard touchdown plunge. They extended their lead to 13-0 in the second quarter with a 1 yard Jeremiah Norris touchdown run.
Okay.
Shelby cut the lead to 13-7 with about 1:43 left in the second quarter on a Dalen Lee very physical touchdown run. Beat two guys to the goal line to get the touchdown. But Burns was able to. In that time remaining, they drove 80 yards for a touchdown. Ben Mooney to Nick Vinson, a 24-yard touchdown, and they really just kind of milked it from there. I think they held the ball in the third quarter for about 10 to 12 minutes. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but it was 16 plays, and they did not score, but the damage was done.
Right.
And They ended up scoring on their next possession. The Kahari Haynes, I think it was 30 or 40-yard touchdown run, and that really just put the nail in the coffin, and really just set off the celebration for those in Burns Bulldog blue and gold.
All right, that's awesome. Have they won the conference title recently?
It has been a while. I can't remember exactly when. I think they had 3 straight conference titles from 2010 to 2012. Don't hold me to that. I wrote it down earlier today, but it's been a while.
Okay. Well, congrats to Burns and Coach Devine, man. That's awesome. Really happy for those guys. And then Shelby, hopefully they'll be able to bounce back. They're going to be a low dangerous seed in the 2A West playoff. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think anybody's going to want to play them because they even though they were playing undermanned and a little bit of this and that, there were some plays out there that they had that they could have done some things with better execution. And I really think that with another week and getting some of those reinforcements back, that they're going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be fine.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, we appreciate you coming on, man. Get back to where you're going. I know you're driving through the backwoods of Cleveland County, so I'm glad you had signal.
What'd he say? What'd he say? I'm just black.
I'm just black. Black and brown.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
Joe Hughes checking in, man. I'll tell you, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Have we ever seen Joe on the night shift?
No, we haven't.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a long ride, man. You got to do something to pass the time.
That's true.
All right, let's get to some comments. Here we go. Marcus Bell, Kings Mountain 35, Crest 20. Kings Mountain finishes 10-0 and claims the Big South Conference Championship. That was a domination. They were up 35-6, I believe, at the half, and then kind of cruised in the second half to bring that home. So congrats to Kings Mountain. Really, really strong football team. Well coached, really strong on defense, and efficient offensively. Good job, man. Great season so far for the Mountaineers, and they got more they want to get done.
Oh, we know what they want to get done. We can say it. We can say it.
Yeah,
anything less than a ring for them, I'm sure, might be disappointing in their eyes. 10-0. I mean,
yeah,
we know what they want to get done.
Absolutely. All right, Markel Riley, Indy 27, Butler 21. Yeah.
I believe I picked that one correctly.
I mean, y'all just gotta catch up to me this week.
Well, he didn't get the bonus, so
blah blah
he might
blah.
be all right.
We are talking about that game right there.
Well, I didn't know we were gonna have someone there. Justin ended up going there, and he had a couple of highlights. If you go to his Twitter, I think I retweeted a couple of them. But Independence jumped out to a 17-0 lead and looked like they were gonna, run away with it. But Butler got 2 quick touchdowns, cut it to 17-14. I think they got another touchdown right before halftime. Former Butler quarterback Parrish Metzger was giving us updates on Twitter when he saw that we didn't have anyone coming. Well, I didn't know we were going to have someone, but he did a great job, man. He's got a feature in covering high school football games. But Butler had a lead, 21-17. Independence kicked a field goal, cut it 21-20, and then they got a late score. I think it was a fourth quarter touchdown. And then they were able to hold off Butler and run the clock out for that 27-21 victory, which now in the conference creates that 3-way tie scenario with Charlotte Catholic because they defeated, I think they played Palisades tonight and they defeated them. So we'll have to wait and take a look at the RPI to see who is going to be deemed the conference champion from a seeding standpoint. But let's put the pause on that because we got a guest, guys, that's actually clicked the link and wants to come on. Thank goodness. Man, finally, someone using the link. And it's like it's a coach from Kannapolis.
There it is.
What's up,
What's going on?
Coach G.
Coach G.
How y'all doing tonight?
We're good,
Good.
man. How you doing?
Not as good as them little wonders are doing right now.
Hey, we had a tough one, man. It was a nail biter, man, down to the end. It was a
Yeah.
nail.
Well, tell us about it because we hadn't gone over that one yet.
Okay, the final score was 17-8. So we had Congo had the ball first. You know what I'm saying? They was driving for a good little while. Pretty much ran out the whole first quarter. We ended up stopping them. We got a field goal. And after that, like you said, we was having a hard time moving the ball all night. Like you said, we got a young quarterback. He's still learning the game, but like I said, we had their back because, like you said, defense, they win championships, as you know. And then Jamari Robinson, I think it was like a 30-yard or 40-yard touchdown on a screen to make it 10-0 going into halftime. Came out of halftime. We had the ball. We couldn't get nothing going. I think we threw like 2 or 3 interceptions. Like I said, offense was just not our night tonight. And I think we had a over the head snap off the punter. Went into the end zone. They got a safety. Oh no, they didn't get a safety. It was right on the one. Jamari ran the ball. They got us a safety. 10-2. Next thing you know, they finally got on the board. I think number 2 for Concord, I think it's Nyan, something like that. Nyan. I can't think of his last name though.
Still.
You said who?
Still.
Yeah, Nyan Steele. He broke one. It was like a little, I think it was a counter or a sweep play to the left. He scored, made it 10-8. And next thing you know, we just capitalized on their mistakes because, like you said, they was throwing interceptions. And then we scored kind of like with 2 minutes left in the game, about a minute into the game, made it 17-8, and then that was the final. So it was pretty much more like a more defensive a game, you can say.
Well, that's awesome, Coach. What did y'all do with the bell?
What you mean?
No, don't y'all ring the bell after the game or something? When you
Oh, yeah, everybody just went crazy. You know how that goes.
Okay.
Everybody just stormed the field. Like you said, student section, they was just going crazy. Then you had the football players after we shook hands with Concord. They went over, rang it. It was just a good little great moment for the kids. And like you said, that's an 8-peat for us. And as you know what I'm saying, I went to
How
Concord.
many Pete's?
Huh?
How many Pete's?
8.
That's a lot of Pete's. I mean, that's like whole elementary school kids.
So a fun
They've
fact,
never known that Concord had a bell before.
Yeah, fun fact is, they haven't had the bell since I graduated in 2015.
Man, you a baby. 2015. Man.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 weeks ago.
All they need is Young G back.
So, yeah, man, it was a fun
Gee,
night,
what was-
man. Enjoyed
What
it.
was it like going back to Robert C. Bailey Stadium, man, for the first time as a high school coach, being on the other sideline, the enemy, man? What was that like?
It felt good because as soon as I got there, like I said, it brought back so many memories. Like you said, we came out, did our warm-ups. I was, like, really hyped. I was really into it. Just felt like it was just a regular game. Like I said, at the end of the day, we still playing the game of football. It's just colors. I mean, that's all I seen. And then from there, like I said, I just fed my energy off to the boys as we was warming up. They was in the zone, and I just kept them going throughout the whole night. And you know what I'm saying? We had a little turnover chain. We got 3 turnovers in the game, so that kind of made me excited. So
Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Hopefully you guys, you looking like you're gonna be in the playoff bracket.
yeah,
tomorrow?
Yeah, so I think we'll know probably sometime tomorrow. I think Coach said so. Hopefully we'll find out. We'll probably be going up to the mountains because I think last time I checked, I think it was like last week they had us projected for I think UNC not UNC Asheville. Who is it?
That'd be a tough day to play.
I know it's
For a couple reasons.
Asheville. So
All right. Well, once again, congratulations, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll see where you guys end up seated tomorrow. Tomorrow night, probably, I'll be doing a seating show. Maybe 9:30 around there. We'll see. Once I get it finalized, I'll put it out there. But we will do some type of seating show. And we'll go over. Well, I will do some kind of seating show. We meaning CFI. I mean, good. Anyway, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
We'll handle family business later.
Take care. Congrats.
My man.
Thank
All
you.
right. No problem, Coach. All right. That is
Will you
Coach
have on
G.
For the show,
What's that?
you have on a fresh new suit for your seating show.
No. The suit's only for the Queen City Senior Bowl, that show is coming up soon, by the way. That will be announced within the next couple of days. Do we have Big Shelby? Big Shelby.
Also black.
He's also dark.
Hey, I'm in the car, man.
Is that drive-through line moving?
Well, I'm on the way home. About to make a little stop. Then I'm on my way up to y'all's jurisdiction.
Oh, okay. Well, we know what that means internally. What's up, man?
Can't call it, man. You know, we dropped the game tonight against Burns, man.
Yeah,
you know,
Joe was on earlier. He told us.
Yeah, you know, we ain't gonna make no excuses. You know what I'm saying? I just hate for whoever got to see us as a road team.
Right.
You know, we had a lot of guys out. Some guys made a couple mistakes, and we got guys battling sickness that we lost. So we was down to our 5th and 6th string receivers tonight in a big conference game. Wow. So you know, man. You know, we ain't here to make no excuses, man. It's a new season. Everybody 0-0. Everybody trying to make it to that second week of December. So you know, that's our goal right now moving forward. It don't matter how we get there. We just plan on getting there.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, you guys can get the feeling better, and that stuff's going around, man. It's rough. I had him still. I'm about 85%, but yeah, it's rough, man.
Yep. That's how it's going right now, man. So but shout out to Burns for winning, conference championship.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, be safe, man.
How about man? What's the daily scores? I ain't been able to check and see who won. I see we lost the Mountain Creek Chambers game. Shout out to Chambers. Hopefully we end up in the video. I apologize. I won't.
No, y'all will end up in something. I've heard, but.
Oh well, it's all right. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for picking against you guys.
I already admitted to my mistakes and wrongdoing. It's fine. I've been picking them for about 3 years straight. So you mess up every once in a while. I won't mess up again.
All right. Well, Big Shelby, you enjoy your weekend, man.
I'll be down at Aggieland. I'll be down at Aggieland tomorrow if any of the CFI followers want to, be cooking out or anything like that.
Hey, man, hit me up, man. Hit me up. You already know.
We'll be down there, man. I'll probably have on an all gold suit with an A&T blue necktie with a cowboy hat.
All gold suit. What, you gold dust?
In my gold dust.
You said all gold.
Well, no, you didn't hear what I said. All gold suit with a navy blue Aggie bow tie and
Oh,
a
okay.
cowboy hat. I'm still working to see what the weather is, if I'm gonna wear a t-shirt or not, or a dress shirt up under.
That'll
I
work.
might just go bare chested with about a pint of yak in my hand.
We're live. We're live.
That'll work, man. That'll work. I like it. I like it, man. I want to wear
Well, enjoy your weekend, big.
Hey,
show,
who won that Independence game?
Independence.
Yeah.
21.
Okay. I like that. I got that big right.
All right. I'll put you backstage so you can listen.
Yeah, put me backstage. I'm gonna listen on Facebook.
All right, man. Hit me up tomorrow.
Be safe.
All right,
man.
I will.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Back on the comments. Chat administrator has no voice. If you don't know, he says the lake was drained. Mooresville won on the last second field goal, 22-20, over Lake Norman. Big victory for those guys, for sure. Especially when you win a rivalry game. It doesn't really change much for their playoff seeding. They already won the conference, but big rival victory nonetheless. Charlotte Christian, big over Country Day. This is a traditional rival game as well. Christian getting to a point where I don't know if that victory will change the private schools seeding in the playoffs. They do theirs a little differently than the public schools, but they'll be in the Division I playoffs. They have Division I playoffs and then Division II, so they're solidly in Division I for sure. Lanesha Dowd, South Meck 37, Harding 14. Congrats to South Meck. I believe that was their homecoming and senior night. Big win for them. We looked at them and they were close, I believe, on that bubble. We'll have to wait and see if that's enough to possibly get them in the playoffs or if they're solidly in. We'll take a look at that before we get off tonight. Jason Bass is here. Good to see you, man. And I have not heard from Derek Chambers. I have not heard. I saw a comment after the show that said he was done with me because I did not pick Mallard Creek. But hopefully he's around. I'd like to see him. Good guy. One loss. They'll be okay. Brian Hagler, Hickory Ridge 47, West Cabarrus nothing. Way to bounce back for Hickory Ridge.
Wolverines.
Yeah, man. Good gracious. But you talk about dangerous low seeds, Hickory Ridge. Yeah. Be interesting to see where their RPI comes out. But they're going to be a dangerous low or mid-tier seed there in the brackets. Karen Belk, hey Karen. Yeah, we talked about Independence being up, winning 27-21. Didn't let Butler score in the second half while scoring 10. Great. I heard the crowd was really good. That's awesome. That's awesome to see that rivalry get back to, what it used to be years ago, man. The classic games with so much talent on both sidelines. That's awesome stuff, man. Let's see. Chat Administrator Cox Mill 31, South Iredale 20. Yes, that game was tied at halftime, and that was a little surprising to see. But South Iredale had a lot to play for. They were literally on that playoff bubble. They were like, I think they were the last team in under projection. And they had a lot to play for. Cox Mill, they're solidly, the number 2 out of the Greater Metro 4. They didn't have as much to play for. Sometimes you get those situations and, weird things happen. But shout out to Cox Mill for coming out and getting that win. And we'll see where South Iredale ends up. Let's see here. What time are the playoff brackets released? It's usually Saturday afternoon. About 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then you get time, schools get time to appeal the results, and then they get finalized maybe an hour and a half later. So I would say final brackets around 3:30, 4 o'clock, maybe earlier now that we have this RPI system. It makes things a little easier. But it takes the time to make sure all the scores are correct in max preps. That's what's going on now, because it depends on max preps. The RPI depends on max press for score accuracy. And you have some schools that are better than others in entering scores. So, but that's the little time delay in there. But Saturday afternoon, we should have official brackets. Let's see. Miss Isaiah is just here for the game review. I guess you're in bed because we did the game review. But shout out to the Patriots getting that big win once again. Coach Akers, it was good to see you, man. And yes, he did. He was super impressive. I want to get an interview with him when I reach out. I'm going to reach out to Coach Lash and set those up. The unfortunate thing, after the game, they're having the post-game huddles, and then we look up, and there's like a big brawl going on at the school. Everything on the field was fine, but, if you've been at Mallard Creek and you look up on the hill, there's a school up there, and there was a bunch of people running around and stuff, and, they ordered everyone to get off the field, and I wasn't going to hold anyone up doing interviews, so that's why we didn't do interviews after the game like we usually do, but we will get them virtually within the next couple of days. But, yeah, TJ was really, really impressive. Committed to William and Mary, but like I said, he looks like a player that can definitely, play at a bigger school if he wanted to. And I think he might be a little overlooked. Let's see. Community School Davidson, big win. 28-10 over Pine Lake Prep. That was a game we talked about. Talked about those schools all year long. We've talked about A.J. Sirianni. Looks like he had another big game. I think he was over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Stellar performance. Congratulations to the Spartans for winning that conference championship. Pine Lake obviously will be the number 2 qualifier from the Catawba Shores, and they'll be in the playoffs. But we'll see where all those schools shake out tomorrow afternoon. Statesville 20, Hickory 14. That's a good win for Statesville. Statesville finishes second place in the conference. Okay. Yeah, Statesville's always one of those schools that you look out for this time of year. They always got good athletes, and they always give you a lot of trouble. I know when Coach Gusler was there, he always led those teams. It seemed like they always were in the 3rd, 4th round of playoffs, man. So good stuff. Congrats to Statesville on the big win. M. Tuck, Butler is Butler. Watch out. Once again, these teams that lose this last week of the regular season, we've seen it before. They get, they learn from their mistakes and they get hot going into playoffs, and, then nobody wants to face them. So, Butler, we'll have to see. I'll pull up the RPI, and that'll give us somewhat of an idea on who may sit where. But in that 3-way tie with Catholic and Independence, it's going to come down to the RPI ranking. So we'll look at that here in a few minutes. Chad Administrator C.J. Gray is going to be the true for A.L. Brown. Remember that name. That was the young quarterback that we were talking about earlier when Coach Gilmore was on.
March camp last year.
Yeah. I'm excited. Excited for that young man. I've seen some of his film, and he looks like he is young, but he's not afraid. That's the one thing I would say when I look at his film. He's confident. He's going to grow into his frame, and he's going to be a really good player.
The top 2025 baseball prospects in the state. Big time pitcher.
Yeah, I know you're a big advocate for quarterbacks playing baseball because of the arm angles and the different ways they throw the football. Once again, seeding will be decided tomorrow afternoon from the state. They'll send out a link and they'll say the brackets are preliminary. We're going to end soon, Kenneth. And, once they get finalized, they'll send that out and say they're finalized, and we'll know the matchups for sure. And I'll try to do a seeding show later Saturday night and give my thoughts on the matchups for the first round. Joe said he got hit on the sideline tonight, man. He said first time in 20 years. Hang on, Joe. We got to do them agility drills, man. Come on out to the camp. Friday night slamming the flu. Man, you got the flu? Chat administrator? Or maybe we were talking about the flu. I don't know. Anyway, if anyone's got the flu, man, it's going around, man. Just please be careful. I see your comment, Smooth. I ain't gonna put that on there, but I see your comment. Yeah, good seeing you, Hawk, man. There's a lot of good people, man. A lot of good people tonight that were, there at the Chambers Mallard Creek game, man. Really good stuff. What? Why we got spam comments on this? Good Lord. I'm not putting up the spam comments. What in the world? We got we're gonna ban that user. Alright, we'll get those off of there. Sorry about that if someone saw that. Let's see here. Yes, I did see the article. So the NCHSAA sent out a media blast about this official survey. And it's something that we're going to talk about a little bit more next week. But yeah, we've talked about this before. Officials are underpaid. They're underpaid. That's the first thing you can do to make things better for the officials is pay them more. Now the stuff with controlling the crowd and players, coaches, and really the fans complaining. That's a little more intensive, and that's going to have to go to all the schools, and then there's got to be some enforcement on the school level. But, the first thing we can do is pay them more. And, we got this big endowment, and we're in like you said, it's an alarming situation. So pay them more. I mean, it's that simple, everyone else is getting paid more because of a shortage. Should be the same thing for officials. We gotta figure that out, man. All right, let's go to the ticker and see what scores we might have missed. Let's see here. Let's get the right scores on here. All right, Ardrey Kell over Berry 42-7. Providence big over East Meck 49-0. Wow. Rocky River over Garinger 59-40. It's Rocky River's second win on the season. Huff over Hopewell, 43-0. We talked about those. Olympic over Myers Park, 28-17. Congrats to the Trojans. Their first undefeated regular season in school history, man. That's awesome. Great job for Coach Thompson and the Trojans, man. Porter Ridge over Sun Valley, 42-7. Northwest Cabarrus over Central Cabarrus, 42-0. Charlotte Catholic over Palisades 46-0. Providence Day over Charlotte Latin 42-0. And a close one, Weddington over Marvin Ridge 24-21. Once again, low dangerous season to playoffs. Marvin Ridge is healthy, and they took Weddington to the wire. You don't want to see Marvin Ridge first round. Nation Ford big over Fort Mill 52-14. In a game we picked, Northwestern over Catawba Ridge 28-23.
Got that one right.
Yeah, I missed that one. Metrolina Christian over Wake Christian 49-7. Shout out Hickory Grove, man. 9-1 regular season. 49-14 over Grace Christian, man. Coach Bachman getting it done. We didn't talk about it, but this was a heck of a game. Another one we picked, Monroe over Forest Hills 21-19, man. Wow. Yeah, what a classic, man. What a classic. Forest Hill was leading that game for most of the game, I believe.
All these teams leading the game and then losing the game late, man. I'm picking y'all for a reason.
Well, we'll have a talk with them. Lake Norman Charter over Mountain Island, 21-15. Christ the King, good season, 41-14 over Bishop McGuinness. Anson over West Stanley, 35-14. West Rowan big over East Rowan, 50-0. The other Bell game, Ashbrook over Hunter Huss, 21-12. That should put Ashbrook in the playoffs, and Hunter Huss will have to sweat it out tomorrow to see if they can get in. Let's see. Forest View over Stuart Kramer, 35-21. East Gaston big over Highland Tech, 58-0. South Point big over North Gaston 55-0. Indian Land over Lancaster 35-14. Clover 52. Rock Hill 34. East Lincoln over North Lincoln 28-7. Bessemer City over Cherville 28-10. Carson over South Rowan 35-21. St. Stephen's over Ford 50-21. The South Point Rock Hill Stallions 33, York 14. And that's what we got on the ticker. Let's see. And then we got Burns 30, Gaffney 21. And Joe had told us Gaffney was rolling. So Burns knocks them off. And they'll have to retune it up for the playoffs. So, all right. That's all our scores on the ticker. Let's take a look at the RPI ratings before we go here. And now these have not been updated since yesterday afternoon. So they will change, but let's take a look just to see where we have an idea on some of these three-way ties. So, all right. So in the Queen City, we have a three-way tie with Huff, Mallard Creek, and Chambers. So Huff is ranked number 3, Mallard Creek 6, Chambers 9. But on the virtue of Mallard Creek losing to Chambers, you have to figure Chambers will be ranked number 2 in the conference. Huff will be number 1, and then Mallard Creek will be the wild card. So that gives you an idea on how that's going to play out. Now, we also had a tie in the Southwestern with Independence, Butler, and Charlotte Catholic. Here's the interesting thing. Butler is ranked 12. Catholic is ranked 15th. Independence is ranked 18th. Now, here's what we don't know. Independence beats Butler, but does Butler drop enough to lose that number 1 ranking based on the RPI? Catholic won, Independence won, Butler lost. Winning percentage counts for 40% of the RPI ranking. So it's gonna be close, because now they're all gonna have the same winning percentage because they're all 3 teams. Well, no, Independence will be 9-1. Catholic and Butler will be 8-2. So now it comes into those other factors, the opponent's winning percentage and then your opponent's winning percentage. Both count for 30%. So mathematicians looking at the numbers, to me, what it looks like is Catholic would be 1. And then between Butler and Independence, it looks real close. Ooh. But football gods would say Indy should be 2 because of the better record, and then Butler would be the wild card. But it's really close between those 3, so we'll wait and see what that looks like. So that gives you an idea on 4A on those 2 3-way tie scenarios, because it just comes down to RPI, no more coin flips and straw pulls and all that stuff. So last comment of the night, Mr. Smoot, big win for Monroe. Yep, absolutely. All right. I think Kenneth had to go to bed. I'm going to get started on video and pictures from Chambers and Mallard Creek. So stay tuned for all that stuff if you're a late night owl like me. Otherwise, tomorrow is seeding Saturday. Good luck for everyone getting seeded in the brackets and playoffs. If your season ended tonight, congratulations on, working hard and getting through the season. And we'll talk about those teams a little bit next week on the show on Football Focus Weekly, Wednesday night. Stay tuned for the seeding show, hopefully Saturday night. If not, it'll be on Sunday. But I will do a seeding show. All right. Congrats to everybody that won tonight. Good night. Appreciate it, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.